Hello and a warm welcome, and thank you for joining with us in today's webinar session. We are really glad to have you here in the session titled Building a Seamless Back Office with Zoho Workplace and Zoho Books. Just think about this. Running a business today involves more than just delivering great products or services, right? Behind every successful organization, there's a lot of things happening in the back office, like the emails, approvals, documentation, their finance tracking, collaboration across team. All this takes place. But very often, this process happens across different tools and disconnected systems, is what I would say. So this is going to make even simple tasks, like take longer time than they should really take. So in today's session, we will explore how Zoho Workplace and Zoho Books can work together to simplify all your back office operations and helping your team stay organized, collaborate better, and manage the financial processes more efficiently. All right, so we will look into how Zoho Workplace and Zoho Books work together and can make a significant difference in your workflow. So the goal is simple in today's webinar session, where we will see how both these products can reduce friction in everyday work so your team can focus on what truly matters. All right, with that being said, let's look into the agenda for today's session. We have structured the webinar into 4 main parts so you can clearly understand both the individual capabilities of the products and how they work together as a connected system. So first, we'll have a quick introduction to Zoho Books and Zoho Workplace. So they will give everyone a clearer overview on what each of this platform offers and how they can support different aspects of your business organization. Because in today's session, we have audience from both the products, right? One might be using Zoho Books and other one might be new to Zoho Workplace. So the introduction will give you a clear overview of the product that is available. Next, we will talk about the benefits of integrating these two platforms. So we'll explore how connecting communication, collaboration, also the finance tool can reduce a lot of manual work and how it improves your efficiency. We'll look into that. After that, we'll spend some time in understanding Books' core functional operations, where you will have a demo on managing invoices, expenses, how you can approve and track manually. All those will be explained. And in the integration in action part, we'll have a practical scenario where showing how teams can collaborate, share documents, and manage their workflows seamlessly using this platform. So by the end, you will have a clear understanding of how bringing this tool together can help build a more streamlined and efficient back office to your organization. All right, so to give you an intro of ourselves, I'm Hansika from Zoho Workplace team, your presenter for today's session. And joining with me is Tejashvi, who is also a product expert of Zoho Book. So we'll be handling today's session. So with that being said, let's get started with the introduction. We'll look into what Zoho Workplace is at first. So Zoho Workplace is a cloud-based productivity suite, which is a complete bundle of apps that will help you in communicating, collaborating, and creating from one unified platform. So it includes everything a team would need for their day-to-day work, like from their emails to chat, their file storage to online editing documents. All right, so before we dive deep into all the applications that are available in the bundle, let's take a quick moment to understand why Zoho Workplace. Because in many of the organization, we might be using a lot of tools that is going to give our work done easily. Like for one application for our emails, another one for chatting, and something else for storing our files, all those. Yes, all these tools are going to work fine on its own, but switching between them can be a time-consuming and sometimes even more confusing. That's where Zoho Workplace comes into play. It brings all your communication and collaboration tool under one platform, so all your work-related data stays under one roof. The idea is simple of Zoho Workplace, where you can work smarter and not scatter. So Zoho Workplace also ensures security, control, and privacy. So everything is hosted in Zoho's trusted ecosystem. So your organization data stays safe in your hands. Now let's deep dive into all the applications that are available in the bundle. First comes the email, which is Zoho Mail, the core of communication inside Zoho Workplace. It is a business email platform that's clean, ad-free, and is designed for both professional and personal use. All right, so you'll get all the features like folders, filters, labels. Now, with this, you can organize your inbox. But what really makes Zoho Mail stands out is the collaboration feature that is available in it. A specific feature to explain is the streams feature. Instead of forwarding long email threads, you can tag your teammates and discuss an email right inside an email space. This is just like commenting on a social media post. So this will keep your communication faster and much more organized. Also, Zoho Mail comes with a lot of productivity tools inside the UI where you can connect seamlessly with rest of the workplace apps, like the productivity suite of apps like calendar, task, bookmarks, notes, calendar. We have all those applications too. To talk and give you a gist of the security when it comes to Zoho Mail, all your data is encrypted both at rest and when it is being transmitted. And most importantly, Zoho Mail does not scan your emails for ads or sell your data. Your inbox is going to be completely private. So, with that, Zoho Mail isn't just your inbox, it is a secure, collaborative workspace. Under collaboration, we have few other applications that would come. So first comes Zoho Workdrive, which is the file management and storage platform in the Zoho Workplace bundle. So Workdrive is like your team's shared workspace. You can store, organize, and collaborate on your files that are available in your team. So you can create a team folder for different departments or projects where everyone can access the latest version of files without any confusion. And this supports a real-time collaboration so multiple users can work on together on the same document. With OneDrive, you can have version controls, file previews, and also give granular sharing permissions so that you can ensure the right person have the right access to access the documents that are needed for them. All right, so OneDrive is essentially your organization's secure and collaborative hub. Next, we have our powerful office editors, which is Zoho Writer, Zoho Sheet, and Zoho Show. First comes Zoho Writer, the online word processor in the workplace bundle. It is designed for collaborative document creation. It lets multiple people work on the same document at once, where you can leave comments, track changes in real time. And it is perfect for like drafting reports, policies, where you can use built-in templates and automation tools to save your time. What makes Writer stand out is its clean interface and the AI powered writing assistant, which will help you with your grammar, tone, readability, and gives you even the plagiarism check. All those can be done in the same space. So all your documents are securely saved in the cloud, and you can manage permissions like view, comment, edit to maintain control over your content. Moving on to Zoho Sheet, which is Zoho's online spreadsheet tool designed for data management, analysis, and collaboration. Just like Writer, Zoho Sheet also allows multiple users to work on the same sheet in real time. You can see who's editing, who's working on which cell, leave a comment for them, track the version history, so that this will help everyone to stay on the same page. And Zoho Sheet is packed with advanced spreadsheet features like the formulas, conditional formatting, where you can do data validation, create interactive charts. You can clean and analyze data with built-in data cleaning tools, which will help you in removing duplicates or errors in just few clicks. Also, there are few automations you can use like the macros and custom functions to speed up your repetitive task. All right, Zoho Sheet integrates with other applications too, like your mail, work drive, analytics. So you can share your reports easily or embed live data whenever it is needed. So that's about Zoho Sheet. Next, we have Zoho Show, the online presentation tool in Zoho Workplace. Zoho Show helps you in creating, designing, and delivering presentation. It offers a wide range of templates, themes, animations, so that you can use all of them and your slides look professional and engaging. And the same way, it also supports real-time collaboration. So when it comes to presenting, you can broadcast your slideshow online, or you can also share it with your teammates for review. And this also integrates smoothly with the other Zoho applications that are available. All right. So that's an intro to the collaboration applications that are available in the workplace bundle. Next, we have Calendar. Calendar is the scheduling and event management tool in Zoho Workplace. Calendar helps you in managing your meetings, events, reminders all in one place. It is also built right into Zoho Mail, so you can access it directly from your mailbox or from the workplace dashboard too. You can create single or recurring events, invite participants. You can add conferencing links from Zoho meetings or other tools too. And the best part is everything stays synced automatically across every devices you are using. Maybe your desktop, your web apps, or your mobile application. All the details will be automatically synced across devices, so you will never miss a meeting. You can also view multiple calendars side by side. For example, you can have personal calendar, team calendars created, share your calendar, subscribe to other calendars that are available on web, and have all the views in the same UI itself. So this is going to make scheduling much more easier when you are coordinating with different departments. When it comes to security and privacy, Zoho Calendar is protected under the same enterprise grade security standard as rest of the applications in the workplace. So your events, invitations, all are encrypted. Access is permission based, and now you can have control on who can view or edit your calendar. So overall, Zoho Calendar helps you in keeping your day structured, your team in sync, and your schedule secure, all within the same ecosystem. Zoho Workplace also gives you a lot of flexibility in working with the help of Zoho Click and Zoho Meetings. Let's have a gist of those applications now. Zoho Click, which is our internal chat and communication tool. Click makes team communication quick and effortless. Instead of having long email threads, you can just have instant real-time conversations. Whether it is going to be a one-on-one or in a group channel, you can create different groups for different teams or projects you are working in. All right, it supports quick video and audio calls too. So right from your chat window, you can just jump into discussion without switching apps. And it is simple, fast, and integrated way to stay connected with your team whenever and wherever you are. The same way we have Zoho Meetings, which is our online meeting and webinar platform. Zoho Mail lets you in hosting videos, training session, webinar directly from your browser. So there is no download required for using Zoho Meetings. It is built for both internal team discussion and the external client presentation that will take place. You can share your screen, record the session, collaborate with your attendees. There are features like hand raise, polls, Q&A, emojis, all those are there. So this integrates with Zoho Calendar and Mail too, so you can schedule a meeting instantly and join them. For rather sessions, you can use the webinar mode to like host product demos, onboarding session, or any company updates that you will have to do. You can do with that. With tools to track and engagement and the attendance, everything in the same workplace. So that's about Zoho Calendar and Zoho Meetings. Next, we have Zoho Connect, which acts as your team's internal social network and collaboration hub. That is why I have brought it under the field of happiness. So this gives you a space where you can, create groups, share updates, post announcement, and discuss ideas. It is designed, to keep your organization connected beyond your day-to-day chats or emails. So it has space where you can create a forum, create manuals, do knowledge sharing. Employees can, do share their best practices, what has happened in the workday, outside the workday. Everything can be done. You can create a company-wide or a team-specific group. You can conduct polls integrated with Zoho applications that are available and have fun in it. Essentially, Zoho Connect helps build a sense of community within your organization where everyone is aligned, informed, and engaged. So that's about Zoho Connect. So is there an application that will help with the security part in Zoho Workplace? Yes, we have Zoho Vault, the password management app in Zoho Workplace. So it is a new addition to the bundle. This application with Zoho Vault will help you in, storing, sharing, and managing your password securely within your organization. So instead of saving your password in a spreadsheet or a note, you can keep them safely encrypted in the vault. You can manage passwords into separate folders, share with a specific teammate, and even control who can view or use them, without actually revealing what the password is. Also, Vault helps you in generating quick, strong, and unique password, and it logs every access or activity that is taking place in it. All right, any department that uses a shared account or tool can use Zoho Vault to like simply access while having and maintaining their security part. So that's a gist of all the applications that are available in the Zoho Workplace bundle. While talking about this, we cannot skip the part of security, right? So before we move forward, it is important to talk about this, especially when multiple business operations are connected within one ecosystem. So as told already, Zoho Workplace is built on a unified security framework. That would mean all the application within the suite follows consistent security policies and controls. So this will ensure that your communication, documents, collaboration, all the data is going to remain protected across the entire platform. Also, this says that we are compliant to the universal data privacy and security standards. It complies with several globally recognized security standards, as you can see on your screen, and it undergoes the guidelines which reinforces its commitment to the user policies. So when businesses use Zoho Workplace along other applications, Zoho Books also, they can integrate and operate confidently knowing that their communication and their financial data are managed between the secure and compliant environment. All right, so that's about Zoho Workplace that I thought of explaining with you all today. So this is just a UI screenshot of how Zoho Workplace would look like. So that's the dashboard. On top, you can find all the applications that are available. You can drag and drop the icons and have them ordered according to your preference. All right. So next, we are moving on to the other explanation part, which is what is Zoho Books. Now, Tejasvi will take up and explain you on this. Tejasvi, can you take up?
Yes, as Hansika has mentioned, we just saw what Zoho Workplace is and how it brings together all the essential tools like email, chat, file storage, and everything together in one platform, right? So now let's have a look into the other side of the picture. So this is where the financial operation comes into the place. So we have Zoho Books here where we can handle and manage all the financial operation of a business. Now, what is Zoho Books? So I think you all would be aware, it's a cloud-based powerful accounting solution that is going to help your business manage your end-to-end financial operation in just one place. Okay, so with Zoho Books, businesses can create their invoices, create their quotations, track their expenses, make their bills, so they can manage all their receivables and payables. So yeah, the key highlight are GST and compliance part. So we can also file our GST returns directly from Zoho Books itself. And we have our banking as well, where we can add our bank accounts, we can reconcile our bank accounts within Zoho Books. And we can also monitor our cash flow and generate our financial reports as well. So all these are possible through Zoho Books, and we do have much more things we can do with Zoho Books. So in short, Zoho Books acts as a financial backbone of your organization. Okay. So before we move into the integration part with the workplace application, so let me briefly walk you through how businesses use their Zoho Books in their day-to-day financial operation. Okay. So this is what the Zoho Books is going to look like. So once you log into Zoho Books, so this is going to be your dashboard screen. Okay. So this dashboard is going to tell you the financial health of your business. So it's a brief snapshot of how your business is running. So you have your top receivables, you have your top payables, total payables, you have your cash flows, you have your income and expenses, you have your top expenses over here. So you have much more things that you can see directly from your dashboard itself. So apart from this, in the left plane, we have all the modules that are available in our Zoho Books. So all our sales, purchases, time tracking, banking, filing and compliances. So all the modules that you can access is available in the left panel. And we have few settings on the top right as well. So we have settings icon, we have bell icons that you can access and view all the other settings here. Okay. So yeah. So to begin with, businesses usually start their Zoho Books by setting up their organization profile. Okay. So we'll go to settings, we'll go to organization profile. So you will just enter all your organization details, your address. So what is the industry you're going to operate under, your organization name, your organization logo, all the details can be entered over here. Okay. So once this is done, so next thing we'll be configuring is our tax settings. Okay. So I'll again go back to the settings. I'll go for my tax settings in the settings icon. So here I can add my GST number. So basically I have my GST settings where I can just enable my GST. Sorry. Yeah, I can enable my GST settings. So I can add my GST number. I can give my GST type. I can give my GST business name, and all the details over here has to be configured. So this would be my second step. So once this is done, I'll just go back to my books. So I'll be configuring my core modules. So apart from this, we have our customers to be configured, we have our vendors to be configured, and we have our items. So all the goods and services that you're going to operate in your business has to be configured in your Zoho Books. And apart from that, we'll be configuring our ledgers as well. So all the operating ledgers which you're going to use in your financials has to be configured as a next step. Okay. So first I'll show you how we can just create an item. We can go to items module. So these are the few items that I've created. So to create one, I can simply click on the plus new option. So this is the detailed overview page of the item. So I can give the item name. I can give all the other details regarding the units, the tax preferences, the selling price of the item, cost price of the item. So I can also track my inventory for my item. So this is going to tell me how much sale I've done, how much purchases I've done. So it's going to track all my inventory here in Zoho Books. So I'll be enabling this as well if I would like to track the inventory for this item. So I can select the inventory account. I can select the method of inventory here. So we have two methods here, FIFO and weighted average. So by just filling these details, I can create an item manually from here. Okay. So not just manual creation for the people who are migrating from Excel or people who are migrating for other application, we also do have an import option where you can import the items in bulk. So I'll just show you how you can import that. So I'll just click onto the three dotted icon here. So I have import option here. So import is going to be very simple. Okay. So I'm just going to show how that can be done. So we have a sample file format here. So by clicking onto this, a sample file would get downloaded. So you're going to dump your data in the sample file. So that is going to be your template here. So you'll add all the item details in that template, and then you'll be importing that file. Once it is ready, you'll be choosing that file here, and you'll just simply import it. Okay. So this import is going to remain same. So the process is going to be same for all the customers, vendors, all the transactions. So if you have huge number of data to be imported, so creating it one by one manually would be a huge task, right? It's going to be consuming a lot of your time. So to simplify that, we have this import process. So you can simply download the sample file, add your data, and just import it here. Okay. So now that we saw how we can create an item, how we can import an item. So next we'll see how we can create and import customers. Okay. So we have our next core master, our customers. So we have a customer module under sales. So we can simply go to sales customers to create a new customer. Okay. So I'll just go here. I'll click on to the new option to create a new customer. So I'll be adding the details of my customer. So my customer name, my customer company name. So what is the GST treatment he's going to be operating in? So whether it's a regular business or an unregistered business. So I can just add it over here. So also I have the address details I can mention. So the billing address, shipping address of my customer. So all of the details can be mentioned from here. Okay. So once the customer is created, so we can also import the customer. Just like I mentioned, we have the import option for the customers as well. So then we have our vendors. So vendors are those to whom you'll be purchasing your goods, right? So here you can click on to the new option to create the vendor. So the page is going to look more or less similar. So the same details again, the name, the GST treatment of the vendor, so all the other details. So apart from that, we have the bank details here. So this is something important to be noted. So bank details is because we can initiate direct vendor payments from Zoho Books to our vendors. Say, for example, you're paying a bill to your vendor. So instead of paying it directly from the bank, you can directly connect your bank with Zoho Books, and you can initiate the bill payment directly within Zoho Books itself. So we'll discuss that in the later part of the session. Okay, so now that we have created the vendor as well, so next up, we'll see how we can create a ledger. Okay, so ledger as in our chart of accounts. So here in the accountant module, we have something called chart of accounts. So here you can see all the default accounts that is available already. So here you can see a lock symbol. So this is going to be a default account that Zoho Books is going to give you. So apart from that, if you have any other accounts that you would require to operate with, so you can simply click on to the new option to create a new account. So you're going to give the type of the account you're going to create in. Say, for example, I'm going to create a fixed asset account. So I'll just give a name to the asset account, and I'll just click on save to create a new account. So similarly, we have an import option as well for importing the chart of accounts. Okay. So now that I have configured my core modules, okay. So what is my next step? So next step is going to be adding the opening balances to my core modules. So you will be having some opening balances to be added to your customers, your vendors, and your ledger statements as well. Okay, so I'll just show you how you can add the opening balances. So say, for example, this is my vendor. Okay, so in the overview page itself, we can simply see here, enter opening balances. You can just click on to it. You can give the opening balances and simply click on save. Okay, so this is how we are going to enter the opening balances for the customers. And similarly for the vendors, we have a same overview page where you can simply select and enter the opening balances. Okay, and coming to the ledger statements, so we'll go to the settings option. We'll search for opening balances. Here it is. So we'll simply click on the edit option. So this is going to give me all the ledgers that I've created till now. So I'll simply enter the opening balances either on the debit side or the credit side, and I'll simply save it. Okay. So apart from entering the customer opening balances from the overview page, you can also import them in bulk here. So you can simply click on the import. A sample file would be downloaded. You can add all the opening balances for your customers. And similarly for vendors, you can download this file, accounts payable file, and add all the opening balances and import it here. Okay. So here there's something called migration date, if you all could see, right? So this is going to be very important to note the migration date. So this is the date that is the date in which you have run the trial balance in your previous accounting software. Okay, so say for example, you are starting the books of accounts from April 1. Okay, so you'll be running your trial balance in your previous application on 31st of March. So here the migration date should be 31st of March. Okay, so your transaction will be starting in Zoho Books from 1st of April. So my migration date would be 31st of March. So this is the date on which all your openings would be imported in your Zoho Books. Okay, so now that we have seen how we can enter the opening balances to all the ledger statements. So apart from this, we have also items, right? So we have the opening stock that can be entered for the item. So I'll just show you. So here, so this is my item where I track inventory for this item. So I can simply click on the edit option. I can enter the opening stock for my item. So I'm starting my books. I have 10 stock of this item which I've created, and my stock unit per rate is going to be 12,000. So I've just entered that, and I'll just click onto the save option. So you can also bring in the opening stock for the item. So now that we have created all the core modules, we have bought in our opening balances. So next up, we'll see how we can manage a sales cycle in our Zoho Books. Okay. So a typical sales is going to start from creation of a quotation, right? So we have sales quotation module. So quotation is something I'll give to my customer with all the items and the rate I'm going to sell that to. So you can simply click on to the new to create a quote. So here I'll select the customer. So here I have a quote number, I have a date on which I'm raising this quote, I have the item details. So here I can select the item I'm going to quote the customer. So I'll select the quantity, rate, the tax, and all those things I can configure from here. Okay, so once this is done, I can simply save and send this to the customer. Okay, so after quote is created, once the customer accepts the quote, what we do is we convert this quote to a sales order. See, we have a convert option. We can directly convert this quote to a sales order. So sales order is nothing but a document I'll share to my customer, confirming the prices, confirming the quantity in which I'm going to sell it to them. Okay, so I'll directly convert this quote to a sales order, or I have a separate sales order module where I can simply create a new sales order here. Okay, so it's going to look more or less similar. So you have the customer name, sales order number, your item details, and all the other things here. Okay, so now that I've created a sales order, so what is next? Okay, so now my goods are ready. So goods are ready to be sold. So it is ready to be dispatched to the customer. So once everything is set for shipment, what I do is I create a delivery challan. Okay, so delivery challan is nothing but a document that I'm going to create while my goods are going to be transported. So if I'm incurring any transfer from one place to another, I'll create a delivery challan here. Okay, so I'll be creating a new delivery challan. I'll be selecting the customer. I'll select the challan type here. So what is the purpose? Okay, so I'll select the items I'm going to involve in my sale. So all of the details is going to look more or less similar. Okay, so I'll create a delivery challan from here. So now that the delivery challan is ready, so what is next? So I can now convert the delivery challan directly to an invoice. Okay, so once I convert it to an invoice, so this is in the open status, so I'll just mark it as delivered. Yes, we have a convert to invoice option. Directly the challan can be converted to an invoice, or I can directly create an invoice from the invoice modules as well. Okay, so other important thing, so especially for businesses operating in India, we need to note here is that, so Zoho Books is capable of generating e-way bills also from Zoho Books itself. So once the invoice is created, directly you can create an e-way bill as well directly from Zoho Books. So see, we have an option, add e-way bill details. So create a new e-way bill. So this is the page we have to create a e-way bill. So my invoice is there. So this is the invoice number. This is my customer. So it's going to fetch all the details from my invoice directly. So I'll just fill in the transportation details here, and I'll directly generate a e-way bill directly from my invoice here. Okay, so apart from that, we can also perform e-invoicing from Zoho Books itself. So once you connect your Zoho Books to a e-invoicing or e-way bill portal, we can directly push the invoice to the e-invoicing as well. So Zoho is a GSP, that is GST Suvidha provider. So we can directly integrate our Zoho Books with an API integration. So we'll be selecting a Zoho as a GSP. So we'll be configuring a username and password. So using that username and password, we'll be connecting our e-way bill portal and invoicing portal directly with Zoho Books. Okay, so once the integration is done, so this is going to be a one-time process where we'll be setting up the API registration, we'll be setting up username, password, and then we'll be connecting the same username, password with Zoho Books and setting up the integration. So once this one-time setup process is done, directly you can generate the e-way bill just like I showed you. And similarly, you will have a push to IRP option here in the invoice. Directly you can click on to that. So with a single click, the invoice can be pushed to the e-invoicing portal. Okay. So this is all about the sales cycle that we saw. So now we have generated an invoice. So next step is to record the payment, right? So simply I can click on record payment here in the invoice to record the payment. Okay. Apart from that, we have a separate module from where you can record the bulk payment. So more than individually recording the payment, I'll go to the payment receive module. I'll click on to the new option. So I'll select the customer. So all the pending invoices would be listed here. So I'll record the payment for all the invoices I would need. Okay. So here I'll be selecting the amount received. I'm going to select the deposit to bank or cash, whatever it is, and I'll be recording the payment from here. Okay. So apart from that, say for example, your customer has given you an advance amount. Okay. So you have not done any sales to the customer, but they've given you some advance amount, which you can later apply to a sales invoice, or later you can also refund it back to the customer. So that advance can also be recorded from the payment receive module. See, you have two options here, invoice payment and customer payment. So here the advance amount can be mentioned. So you can select the bank in which the advance has been deposited, and you can just record it from here. Okay. So now that we have seen how we can record the payment and how the advance can be recorded in Zoho Books. Okay. So apart from this, we do have some payment gateway integration through which you can collect the payment directly online from the customers. Okay. So that has to be configured from settings. So we'll just go to settings. We'll go to online payments. Okay, so here I have customer payments. So here you can see all the payment gateways that we can directly integrate with Zoho Books. So we have Razorpay, we have our own native payment application, Zoho Payments. So we have Paytm, we have Stripe, PayPal, all of that. So you can simply click on Setup Now option. If you own an account in any of these payment gateways, you can simply configure them with Zoho Books, and you can initiate the payment and receive the payment from the customer through this online payment. Okay, so what will happen is whenever you create an invoice and share the invoice to the customer, a payment link will be generated and sent to your customers. So when customer makes the payment using the payment link, the payment will be automatically recorded in Zoho Books. So you need not go manually select the invoice, click on record payment. So nothing is needed. So just the invoice is sent to the customer, they make the payment, the invoice will be paid here. Okay, so that is the advantage of using the payment integration and collecting the payments from the customer. Okay. So say you have a scenario where your sale is being returned now. So maybe the goods are damaged, or it can be anything, right? So there are high possibilities that you will receive back the goods that you sell from your customer. So in that case, how to record that in Zoho Books? So it's very simple. We create a credit note for that purpose. Okay, so we have a credit note module under sales. So you can simply click on to the new option. We can select the customer to whom you have sale. So here you will select the invoice. So next we have the reason. So why is the sale being returned? So you can select the reason why the sale is being returned. So you can just select the item which is being returned, and all of the details of the item can be entered, and simply you can create the credit note for the customer. Okay. So we have covered the sales part. Now let's move to the purchase side. Okay. So purchase side, we have our vendors. So we have our bills that we can create from the vendor. So all the purchases that we purchase from the vendors can be created as a bill here. So simply we can click on the new option. We can select the vendor. So we can give the bill number, we can give the bill date, and we can enter the item details that you're going to purchase, and you can generate a bill. So apart from bill, we have expenses as well. So all the day-to-day expenses that you incur in your business can be recorded as expense in Zoho Books under expense module. Okay, so you'll just click on to the new option. So you can select the expense account. So say I have automobile expense. So I'll enter the amount here. So I'll enter the paid through as well. So whatever the bank I'm using to make the payment, I'll just select the bank. I'll just enter the amount I'm going to record as my expense for today, and I'll just click on save. So that my expense is created. So apart from that, we could see some other modules here. So you have recurring expenses, you have recurring bills, which you can see. And similarly in the sales, we have recurring invoices. So what are these modules? So recurring transaction is nothing but say you have an expense that you're going to incur in every month-on-month basis. So one example would be your rent. Okay, so rent is going to incur every month, right? So it's going to be very time consuming to create the rent entry every month-on-month, right? So what I can do is I can create a recurring profile over here. Okay, so I'll just go to recurring expense. I'll just click on to the new. I'll give the profile name as my rent. So I'm going to select the frequency when this entry has to be created. So I'm going to select the rent account here. So whatever is my rent account, and then I'm going to select the amount and the paid through. So once this profile has been set up, so I'll set up the start date and the end date. So till when I want this entry to be created. Okay. And then I'll simply click on to the same. So my recurring entry will be created. So every month, this entry will be automatically created instead of me manually creating it every month. So this is going to save a lot of your time. Okay. So similarly, we have recurring bills. Similarly, we have recurring invoices as well. Okay. So apart from that, just like we saw customer payments, we have vendor payments that we can record. So under payments made, you can simply go and record the vendor payments. So all the bills will be listed. You can record the vendor payments, and we have the vendor advance as well. Similar to the customer advance, if you have made an advance to your vendor, so you can record that under vendor advance from here. Okay. So vendor credits is nothing but if you are receiving back the goods that you have purchased. So in that case, you will be creating a vendor credits here. So similar to sales credit note, we have vendor credits here. Whenever the purchase return is taking place, we create a vendor credit from here. Okay. So apart from that, just like I mentioned in the beginning, we have direct bank integration from where we can pay the vendor directly from Zoho Books. I'll also show the vendor payments that we have. So from settings, I'll just type vendor payments. So we have it under online payments. So these are few partner banks that we can directly connect with. So we have SBI, Axis Bank, HSBC, Standard Chartered, Yes Bank, and Kotak Bank. Okay. So we can simply click on setup now and configure our integration with these banks. So the point to be noted is you need to own a current account here. So if you have a current account with any of these banks, you can, without any hesitation, directly connect your bank account and set up the integration. So there's going to be two advantages with this vendor payment. Okay. So one is your direct feeds. Okay. So Zoho Books with this integration is going to fetch the feeds every 24 hours automatically. Okay. Without any interruption, you'll be fetching your feeds. Second thing is you can initiate the vendor payments directly from Zoho Books. So simply you can pay via, so you, once you integrate this, you have pay via SBI option or pay via Axis Bank option. While recording the payment, you will simply enter the PIN and make the payment directly from Zoho Books. So these are few banks that we have. Okay. And one more point to be noted is we don't have a direct payment option for Kotak. However, we can fetch the live bank feeds using the Kotak Bank. Okay. So this is all about the purchase module here. So next up we have banking. Okay. So banking is another important capability where we can add and connect our bank directly from banking module. So we just saw few banks listed over the vendor payments, right? So if you own any other bank, say for example, HDFC Bank or any other Indian overseas bank, so whatever the bank is, so you can also fetch the direct feeds by connecting your bank under banking module. So here you can just click on add bank or credit card. So you're going to use this first option, automatic bank feed supported bank. You can simply click on connect now option. So this integration is going to take place using a third party called Yodlee. You will simply agree the terms and condition. You can connect the bank and fetch the feeds every 24 hours from here as well. So all the other banks apart from the partner banks can be connected from here and feeds can be fetched for them as well. So other option is that you can add the bank manually. So if you add the bank manually, you will have to import the statement. So apart from automatic fetching, we have the import option where you can import the bank statement. You can simply download the sample file as I mentioned. So you can simply import the file and fetch the statement time to time. Okay. So now that I have one of my bank here, okay, so once the statements are imported, this is how the banking is going to look like. You have uncategorized transaction. List of all the statement that is imported is going to be shown in the uncategorized transaction. Okay, so we can simply reconcile the bank statement. So say for example, I have this withdrawal entry made. So withdrawal means I have made this payment to someone. So be it a bill payment or excess payment. So I can simply click on to this option. I can either match them or categorize them. Okay, so this can be done from a banking module. So apart from that, to simplify this process, so instead of manually going and clicking, selecting, matching the transactions, we have something called transaction rules that we create. So inside banking, we have a settings where we can manage the transaction rules. You can set up a new rule over here. So you can set up a criteria. Say, for example, you have a payee who is going to pay you some 10,000 rupees, or say for example you have a description in your bank statement that is going to contain some value. So you can set up a certain criteria and set up a rule name, and if this criteria matches, so it will automatically record the payment just like what preferences you give. Okay, so if the description is going to be something, I have to record this entry as a customer advance. So I'm going to select the customer, I'm going to select the GST treatment on all the other details, and I'm going to record this rule. Okay, so this rule, whenever this criteria matches, it is going to automatically categorize my entry. Okay, so this is just to simplify the process. So instead of me manually selecting, matching, categorizing, I can just create a rule and do it automatically. Okay, and apart from this, we have reconciliation capabilities. So account reconciliation, where we can simply reconcile the account. So period on period, we can just enter the start date and date and reconcile our account as well. So apart from that, we have our core highlight of Zoho Books, that is GST filing, right? So GST filing, we can file our GSTR1, GSTR3B, and our annual return GSTR9 directly from Zoho Books itself. So filing is going to be very simple. It's going to be a 3-step process. So you are going to view your transaction, you are going to push your transaction to GST portal, and then you're going to file your return. So if there is no failure in your push, if there is no errors, so directly the transaction will be pushed. If there is any failure, you have your failed transaction tab. Let me just show you. So this is going to be my push page. So you have a failed transaction tab where the failures are going to be listed. Apart from that, you will also receive a mail in your registered mail ID where the push summary is going to be displayed along with the errors. So you can just rectify the errors in your transaction and you can proceed with your pushing. And once the push is successful, you can simply go to the file your return tab and file your returns. Okay. So apart from that, we have 2A and 2B, which we can reconcile within Zoho Books. So apart from GST filing, we have reports as well. So we can generate more than 60 plus reports here. So starting from profit and loss, balance sheet, all the business reports can be generated directly from Zoho Books. Okay, so we have multiple customization in the reports. We can apply filters, we can add the columns, we can compare the period wise balance sheet. So we have much more that we can customize and do with the reports. Okay, so this is all about the so this is all about the overview of what Zoho Books can do. So I think this would be a great uh, overview for all the new people who are just starting with Zoho Books.
Now we are going to look into the integration part between workplace applications and books. All right, so we will start with the integration of Zoho Mail with Zoho Books. All right, now let's take at some of the practical benefits that you will find while using Zoho Mail with Zoho Books. So one of the biggest advantage is that you can will all your bills details, your invoices, estimation, everything along your email space itself. Like as you can see on the screen, in our Zoho Mail UI, in the right side panel, you can find the extension button. So when you click on that, you'll have a pop-up, and here is where you can view all your data related to your Zoho Books in the same space itself. So one of the big advantage is that you can have all your detail alongside your emails. So that would mean you are communicating with the customer. So you don't have to switch tabs to check their financial detail, have them added in your email. No, you can just have all the access to your information right away from your inbox. Another is the feature is that you can track the process of transaction through automated or manual comments. So this will help teams stay updated on the task or invoices or the estimates without the needing of separate follow-ups. In addition, users can also create and manage estimates and invoice directly from their inbox, making the entire process more faster and more convenient. And finally, if a customer sends important documents through email, you can attach those documents right away from your email into the corresponding transaction in Zoho Books. So this will ensure that all the relevant information stays organized in one single place. So together, these capabilities will help your team reduce manual work, save time, and manage the financial communication more efficiently. So that's the benefits of integrating Zoho Books and Zoho Mail. Next, we have the integration of Zoho Books and Zoho Click in the workplace bundle. All right, this is to improve your real-time communication and collaboration between your teams. So with this integration, users can chat with Zoho Click users directly within Zoho Books in using the smart chat bar that will be available on the bottom of the screen. So this will make it easier, to quickly reach out to teammates if there is any clarification needed or assistance needed regarding the transaction or the customer report. Another key benefit is you can receive real-time Zoho Books notification directly in your preferred Click channel in this integration. So instead of constantly checking the accounting platform for update, and your team can stay informed right away within the communication workplace. All right. To keep it simple, for example, you get an instant alert when your customer interact with your transaction. So this will include notification when a customer views, comments on, or accepts or even rejects a code. You will receive all the updates when customer is having any interaction, and even when an invoice payment is being made, you can enable all the notification. So this real-time notification will help your team stay updated and respond quickly, which will make the entire financial workflow more transparent and collaborative. Next integration is with Zoho Books and Zoho Writer. This is where you can automate document generation using the Zoho Books data. With this integration, you can automatically generate, like business ready documents by pulling in data directly from your Zoho Books data page. So this will remove the need to manually enter the same information again and again. By use of merge template actions, transaction details like customer information, invoice data, and amount can be auto-populated into documents. In the next section, Tejasvi will give you an introduction and a workflow demo on how you can do this. So you will understand how you can save your time and even reduce error while auto-populating data into your document. You can also generate documents in bulk, which is especially useful when you are handling multiple invoices or many records at once. Another advantage is that it will help you in maintaining a standardized and branded documentation that will ensure consistency across all your business communication. So overall, this will significantly reduce all the manual efforts that you put into a document preparation. And that is going to make your entire process more faster and more efficient. All right, so these are the benefits of integrating Zoho Books with Zoho Writer. Now we will look the integration part in action, where Tejasvi will give you an overview using the UI, and she will explain how to integrate these products and get the work done. All right.
Yeah, so let's get started with one of the most common communication tools used in our business. Okay, so that is nothing but our email. Okay, so we all know that email is going to play a crucial role in your business. So businesses are going to regularly send invoice, quotations, payment reminders, and we are also going to receive the responses in emails from our customers and vendors, right? So with books and mail integrations, all the communication with the contacts can be accessed directly within Zoho Books itself. Okay, so this means that you need not switch between your accounting and your inbox to track your conversation. So let's see how you can integrate your Zoho Books and your Zoho Mail. Okay, so we'll simply go to the settings, will Zoho apps. So this is going to give you the list of all the applications that you can connect with your Zoho Books. So here you are going to have Zoho Mail as well. Okay, so you can click onto the connect option. So here you can see there's a connect option which you can click to connect your mail. So you will have a pop-up there. Then you can simply click on enable integration. So that is going to enable your integration as well. So apart from this, you can also connect the integration from the customer directly. You can go to the sales customer module. You can simply select one customer, and on the top, you're going to have the mails tab. Okay. In the mails tab, you can simply click on to the connect your email account. So you can simply enable the integration from here as well. So these are the two ways how you can integrate your books and mail. So one of the prerequisites that you should keep in your mind is that both your books and your mail should operate under one Zoho account. That is, you should use the same mail ID for your Zoho Mail and your Zoho Books to establish this integration seamlessly. Okay. So now that we have seen how we can connect it, so now let's see what all the things we can perform through this integration. That's more important, right? So yeah, first we'll see how we can view the email activity under the contact. So yeah, again, when you select the customer under mails tab, after the integration is performed, you can view all the emails respective to that customer. So all the conversation that has taken place between you and your customer under the mails tab itself. Okay, so I'll give you one situation. So imagine where you have a finance executive who wants to check the conversation history before he sends any reminder to the customer. Normally what he'll do, he'll go to the mailbox, search the entire inbox. He's going to come back to the accounting system to send the reminder, right? So this is going to take a back and forth of both the application switching and all the other manual efforts, right? So to avoid that, we can simply integrate our mail. So what he can do, he can simply open the customer and check all the conversation with that customer. So he'll get the complete idea and the context so that has taken place earlier with the customer, right? So you can simply check all the mails from the mails tab directly. So what else can we do with this mails integration? So next we'll see how we can attach email attachment from the email into a invoice directly. Okay, so say for example, I have an invoice with a attachment. Say I have a customer who has sent me an invoice for confirming their order with their purchase order. Okay, so he has sent me through my email. So what I have to do, I have to raise an invoice for that customer, attaching the purchase order, which they have shared me via the email. So what I'll normally do is I'll go to the invoice, I'll download their purchase order, I'll come back to my Zoho Books, I'll create one new invoice and I upload that attachment. Instead of this, what I can do is I can directly open this customer. I can go to their mails tab. I can simply use this add to mail option, simply select the invoice here. So what this is going to do is this is going to add my attachment from the email directly to my invoice. So this is my invoice I'm creating. So here you can see the mail attachment that is added, right? So this is going to help me to attach my documents from the email directly to the transaction. So next, what else can be done? So we can next add a email directly in the contacts comment section. Okay, so what is the purpose of adding the email in the comment? So I'll give you another situation here. Okay, sometimes the customer might share some important email regarding the delivery changes or a payment discussion or any special instruction regarding the sale that you're going to do. Okay, so instead of forwarding this to each of the team members you have, what you can do is you can simply add it as a comment to the contact. So I'll again go to the mails tab in the customer. So again, I'll use this add to email option. I'll select the contact activity here. So this will add the email directly on the comment section. So this is going to be an internal reference for all my team members, starting from my sales team, my finance team, all my team members can view this comment instead of me going and sending emails to each of my team member. Okay, so this is one thing that we can achieve through this integration. And one last thing that we can do is we can manage the attachments from email and link them to the customers directly. So how is this going to help me? Okay, so customer often they share you the documents. So it may be a GST certificate, it may be any signed agreements, it can be their address proof. So these needs to be stored by you in some separate document, right? Instead of tool some other place, you can directly attach the email directly to the contact itself. Okay, so this is going to help you in storing directly as an attachment from email to the contact level. So apart from this, you can also disable the integration. So just like how we have enabled the integration, we can also disable it from directly from sales Zoho apps. So just like we connected the integration, you have a disable option as well. So where you can disable the integration. So here you can directly connect it. So this will enable the integration. Okay. Similarly, once the connection is done, you can simply disable it. See, there's a disable option here. Okay. So now that we have seen about the mail integration, let's move to the next application, that is our internal team collaboration tool. We have Zoho Click for that. Okay, so Zoho Click, as we all know, that it is going to be a chat and collaboration platform. So using Zoho Click, we can instantly chat with our team members through a channel or a direct message or a group conversation. So how can we integrate Click with Zoho Books? So again, in the same integration page, we have Zoho Click here. So this is going to show a connect option. So once you click onto the connect option, this is the screen you are going to be redirected with. We have two options to enable here. So first option is enabling a chat bar. Okay, so I'm going to enable this so that I'll get a chat bar here in the footer, if you can see. So let me once disable it and show it how it's going to look like. Okay, so yeah, this is the chat bar that you can see here, right? So after enabling it, you'll get this chat bar option. And similarly, I'm also going to enable this option in order to get the notification in the click. Okay, so here while enabling, I'll select one channel in which I can receive all the Zoho notification, financial operation notification in my click directly. So I'll explain you further on this in this upcoming few minutes. Okay, so now that I have connected my click, right? So now let me explain you what are the other things that you can perform using the Click integration. Okay. So I'll give you one scenario to understand the Click integration better. Okay. Say I have a sales team. Okay. So my sales team is going to send the quotation to my customers. Okay. So they don't have direct access to my financial operation. So they're not going to be part of my Zoho Books. But since they are sending the quotation, so they have so they need to know whether customer has viewed the quotation, whether customer is accepted the quotation, whether customer is going to make the payment for the quotation. So all these has to be known by the sales team. So what they do, they usually go get in touch with the finance team to know all these things. Okay, since they're not part of the books, they need to get in touch with the other teams to know these things. So instead, we can establish this Click integration to make this process more seamless. Okay, so how this is going to help is that once any action is performed, automatically a notification will be sent to my Click channel. Okay, so this is my sales channel, which I have configured during my settings. So I'm going to get all my notification here in this channel so that my sales team can be informed about all the action that is being performed. Okay, I'll quickly show the demo of that as well. Okay, now, so we have performed the integration, and one more point to be noted here, similar to the previous integration, we need to own the Click and the books under the same Zoho account. Okay. So next, we are going to see how a small demo of how this can be achieved. Okay. So before that, I would like to introduce another small concept here. We have something called a customer portal. Okay. So customer portal is nothing but a dedicated space for your customers. So where they can view all their codes, they can accept their codes, they can view their invoices, they can make payment to their invoices, they can check the transaction statement. This is more like a collaborative platform where you can interact with your customers. Okay. So this is going to give them a more control over their transactions. Okay. So I'll just show you how this portal is going to look like. So I'll also show you how you can invite the customer to the portal. So here you can see invite to portal option, right, under my sales customer. So when I click on to this, an invitation will be sent to my customer's mail ID. Customer can log into their mail ID, they can set up a password, and they can log into the portal. Okay, so this is how my customer portal is going to look like. Okay, so this is my home screen. I have all my codes here. I have all my invoices here. I have all my payments here. I have my statement that can be viewed from here. So this is the portal. So now what I'm going to show you is, so say for example, I have a quote. Okay. So I select the quote. Say I'm accepting quote from here. I have an accept and decline option. So being a customer, I'm simply accepting the quote. Yes, the quote is accepted successfully. So now what happens is I have received a notification as part of this integration. Just like I said, you will receive a notification of all the action that is being performed. So the quote has been accepted, right? So similarly, if I add a comment here, okay, quote accepted, I'm just type a comment here and I'll add a comment. So I'll receive another notification where the comment has been added to the quote. So now that the comment has been added, right? So this is one thing that you can achieve using the Click integration. Okay. So next important thing that we can do using the Click integration is something called contextual chat. Okay. So let me tell you what this contextual chat is. Okay. So contextual chat is going to help you to initiate a chat within a transaction or a specific record that is going to be available in your Zoho Books. So how this is going to help me? Okay, I'll give you another scenario. Say for example, a customer is going to raise a question about an invoice, maybe regarding the pricing or some discount that he needs. So instead of me sending this email back and forth to my sales team, what I can do is I can simply initiate a chat with my sales team and discuss regarding the invoice directly with my sales team. Okay. So another example would be, say for example, I have a sales executive who is going to give some additional discounts and he needs an approval from his manager. So instead of going and using some other tool to communicate to his manager, he can simply initiate the chat within Zoho Books itself using the contextual chat option. Okay. So let me show you how this chat is going to work like. Say for example, this is the invoice and I need to discuss with my team member regarding this invoice. So here you can see a small click icon. So it states contextual chat. I'm just going to click on to that. I'm going to click on create chat. Okay. So this is going to ask me for the title. So I can add the participant. So all the Zoho users of this organization will be shown as a participant. I can simply create a chat from here. Okay. So once the chat is created, so you can also, apart from just chatting, you can add the attachment, you can invite more participants, you can send an audio record, you can also initiate a meeting with the participant. So all these things can be done from a contextual chat. Not just for the invoice, you can also initiate the contextual chat for a respective customer, so respective items, so anything. So this is all about the contextual chat here. Okay. So since every business is going to involve multiple teams, okay, so it's not going to be one team involved in a business, right? So we are going to collaboratively work in an organization. So we need to communicate easily with the team members. So this contextual chat is going to help you with just that, okay? So yes, so apart from this, we can also disable the integration similarly. So we'll go to Zoho apps, we'll just disable the integration directly from here. Okay, so we'll click here, we'll just remove these options. The click integration will be disabled. Okay, so now let's talk about another powerful tool, that is our Zoho Writer. Okay, Zoho Writer is going to help us in automate document generation, right? So now with Zoho Books and Writer integrations, we can create customized documentation using the data available in Zoho Books. Okay. So let's say for internal purpose, my company needs to generate a document, say an approval document. Okay. So I need few details from my Zoho Books. So it can be my transaction details, it can be my customer details, vendor details. So I need it in a certain format only. I have a template, I need the details in certain format. So there might be multiple scenarios like this where your business needs to generate documents like agreements, some letters you send to your internal team members, some account summary generation that you need. So sometimes we need to share this to our stakeholders who are not part of this organization as well, right? So we cannot add everyone in our accounting. So we need to share few details with them. So we can generate a customized document using this writer integration that is going to fetch all the details from your Zoho Books and populate it in the template you need. Okay. So this is the scenarios wherein your Zoho Writer integration is going to help you with. Okay, so this is going to ensure that there is no manual effort needed each time you go pull the data, copy, paste it in a document, share it to the stakeholder. So this can automatically created using the template that you configure. Okay, so let me show you how this writer is going to work like. Okay, so here I have few steps. Using these steps, we are going to create and generate automatic document using Zoho Writer. So first thing, this is a writer I have. Okay, so I am going to convert this as a merge template. So I need to get a template ready. So that is what we call as a merge template. So first, let's see how we can convert this writer document as a merge template. So I'll just click on to this 3 dotted icon. I'll go to the automate option. Here you can see the automate option. And I have a option called merge template. I'll simply click on to the merge template. So it is asking me whether it needs to be converted as a merge template. I'll simply click on convert. Okay, yes. So now this has converted as a merge template. You can see the name here, merge template. So now this is going to ask me from where should the template collect the data from. Okay, so I have few other settings that I need to configure. I'll simply click on to the add data source. I'm going to select Zoho Books. I'm going to select my organization here. I'm going to select my invoice. Say I need to fetch all my invoice details in this template. Okay, I'll select invoice. I'll simply click on import. So now what it has done is it has imported all my invoice related fields here. Okay, so what I can do, I can simply create a template. Say for example, I need my invoice number here. Say for example, I need my customer name here. So this is more like a placeholder, template placeholder that I can simply select from here. Say for example, I need a date, invoice date to be populated. Say I need total amount to be populated. So I can simply select and make the template ready. So this is what we called as a merge template. So we can simply select the data source as Zoho Books. So we get all the invoice placeholders here. We are simply clicking on it to make the template ready. So once the template is ready, what we can do is we can simply run the merge. There's a run option here. So either you can manually run it, or you can set up a custom function to automatically run this merge so that all the data will be pulled from your Zoho Books that you have connected. Okay, so I have another document ready for you. So this is a merge template I have already prepared. So this is my customer transaction summary. So this is my customer name, company name, email, phone number, and I have few details of my invoice that I want to fetch it from Zoho Books. Okay, so let me run this merge and show it to you how it is going to work like. Okay, so I'm simply clicking on run merge option. So it says pulling records from Zoho Books. So all the data from Zoho Books will be pulled based on this merge template. So I've just clicked on to the run merge option. So it is creating a new document with all the data from Zoho Books. So now you can see, yes. So it has fetched my customer name. It has fetched my details here, the invoice number, invoice date, due date. So this is going to be my detail from Zoho Books. So similarly, not just a manual run, you can also generate a custom function to just pull these details and automate the merge. Okay, so this is about the writer integrations we have. So apart from this, not just books, mails, and click and writer. Okay, so we have other workplace apps, right? So we have Zoho Meetings, we have Zoho Connect, we have Zoho Sheets, we have Zoho Directory. So how about these integrations? Okay, so we don't have direct integration with these apps from Zoho Books. So we are yet to have a direct integration, but meanwhile, we have something called Zoho Flow. So you can integrate all other applications, say Zoho Sheets, Zoho Meetings, Zoho Connect. All those can be connected with Zoho Books using this application, Zoho Flow. Okay, so what is this Zoho Flow? How does this help in integrating the application? Let me explain you that as well. Okay, so Zoho Flow is nothing but a integration platform that is going to connect different applications. So this is going to set up some automatic workflows between two different applications. So it is going to act as a central hub linking multiple tools together, whether be it a Zoho app or any external third-party tools like Gmail, Slack, anything. You can connect it using Zoho Flow. Okay. So we have more than 900 applications that you can integrate, including the Zoho application and other third-party application. So the best part is that you need not add any code. There is no hustle. You can simply set up few workflows, and with just few clicks, you're going to connect to application. But how is this going to work? Okay, so there's a simple concept behind this. Let me quickly explain you this in simple terms. Okay, so we have something called action and reaction. Okay, so action or trigger, we can say. So there's going to be a trigger in one of the application, and there is going to be an action for that trigger in the second application. So this is how it is going to work. So this trigger is going to be an event that is happening in one application. So it can be anything. It can be a lead that is generated in CRM. It can be email that you have received. It can be a message that is posted in the click. And similarly, for this trigger, there will be an action that is taking place in the second application. So second application can be anything. So it can create a task, it can send a notification, it can generate a support ticket. So there are two applications where action and reaction is going to take place through the workflow that is configured using Zoho Flow. Okay. So to understand this better in context of Zoho Workplace, I have few other examples to make you people understand in simple terms. Okay. So first example would be, say for example, I have a financial data that is updated in Zoho Books. Okay, so I'll set up a workflow in Zoho Flow such that when I make an entry, automatically the entry should be pushed to my Zoho sheet. Okay, so this is going to help me connect my Zoho Books with Zoho Sheet. Okay, so whenever the entry is made, the data should be automatically pushed in the Zoho Sheet. So here the trigger is going to be the data update in Zoho Books, that is application 1. The action is going to take place in a Zoho Sheet, that is the application 2. So this is how these two applications are going to link using the Zoho Flow. I'll give one more example for simple understanding. Okay, so say for example, I have received a big amount as a payment from my customer. Okay, so I need to inform my internal team members that I have received so and so amount from one of my customer, right? So for that, what I can do, I can trigger a workflow using Zoho Flow such that whenever the amount is received more than so and so amount, I can automatically post a internal post in my Zoho Connect. So here the trigger is going to be the payment received, and the reaction is going to be a post that is posted in Zoho Connect. So this is how my financial books is going to connect with my application Zoho Connect. Okay. One more example. Say for example, I have a certain invoice of a huge amount that is pending for a longer time. So customer has not made a payment for this invoice for a longer time. So I need a quick meeting that is to be organized in Zoho Meeting. So I can set up a workflow such that a quick meeting link can be generated when invoice remains unpaid for a longer time. So this can also be achieved in Zoho Flow. So in this way, we can connect Zoho ecosystem, our accounting process, along with other productivity tools like Zoho Meetings, Zoho Click, Zoho Connect, Zoho Sheets using Zoho Flow. Okay, so we have almost reached the end of today's session. So before we wrap up, let me quickly give you a recap of what we have seen in this session. So we started by understanding what Zoho Workplace is. We saw what Zoho Books is. We saw the UI and how the financial operation is going to work in Zoho Books. So we had some hands-on as well, right? So next we saw the integration between books and other workplace apps. What are the benefits of integrating these apps with Zoho Books and how we are going to integrate them, and few hands-on what are the other actions that can be taken place using this integration. And finally, we ended this by understanding what Zoho Flow is and how we can set up the automation workflow using Zoho Flow, right? So yeah, I think I can conclude something like this, right? So the real strength of Zoho ecosystem lies not just by using an individual application. It is how beautifully, how seamlessly you work together with all these connected workflows across the organization. So if you're already using Zoho Books, I strongly encourage you people to use and explore the other integration available to add more value to your platform.
I would like to just end the session by giving you a few key takeaways to keep in mind. So, bringing your communication and finance tools together isn't just about the convenience. It's about working smarter with fewer gaps and delays. So, when your system is connected, your teams will spend a lot of time, lesson in switching between different applications, tools. All right, but then they can focus on what really would need their attention. And most importantly, as any business grow, having an integrated setup like Zoho Workplace and Zoho Books will help you in scaling your operation, without having any unnecessary complexity to that. So that is what we wanted to help you all in understanding in today's session. So thank you all for joining with us today.